Hey folks, it's Tommy Z, and I wanted to record a quick video today because I heard a quote this morning while I was on my jog listening to an audiobook, a quote which really hit home for me. And the quote was, "It's easier to act your way into thinking than to think your way into acting." And I just want to unpack this quote very quickly and what it means for me. Essentially, why it hits home for me. It's because so many times we try to sort everything out in our head first before we take any steps, before we actually move, before we actually take action, before we actually start recording the single, before we actually email somebody, before we engage in a project. Notice how much thinking we do. Is it going to succeed? Is it going to fail? Am I ready to do this? Is it going to be any good? Will anybody want to hear from me? So much thinking, right? And all this thinking we think is actually beneficial because it will improve. We think it will improve the process of like determining whether we should do something or not. And we even delude ourselves into thinking that by thinking we will be able to improve possibly the quality of the idea that we're working on and whether we should work on it at all. We think we can figure it out in our head. Now, the problem with that is that just by thinking alone, you're not actually getting any traction, right? So you think, you end up in a state which I call analysis paralysis. And what gets done? Not much. And you know what happens then? Is that the next time you think about doing something, an idea comes up for a single, to email somebody, for a new project, now your thinking is worse or more negative than it was before. Because the thought you had before about the project, you sort of overthought about it. You eventually just ended up deciding that nobody wants to hear from you, that it's probably a bad idea or that you're not ready. And so the rocket ship never launched. And so the next time an idea gets into your head, initially you will get excited, then you will start thinking, then you will start overthinking, then there will be analysis paralysis. And because you didn't launch the last time, now you trust yourself less. So before you even give this baby a shot to be born, you will already decide in your head that it's probably not worth doing it. And folks, this is why the quote, "It is easier to act your way into thinking than think your way into acting," is so powerful. Instead of thinking too much about a potential project, a potential idea, about emailing somebody, I want you to actually start taking the first step when the idea pops into your head, when you get excited about it, when there is enthusiasm, and give yourself no more than 5 minutes. Put on a timer and give yourself no more than 5 minutes to actually plan the idea out. Concrete steps, what you're going to do. Step 1, step 2, step 3. Don't let yourself think past the point of the excitement, when you start overanalyzing, when doubts start coming in, okay? And what will happen when you actually move on the idea? And sure, it's imperfect. Sure, it's not the best email you ever wrote. Sure, it's not going to be a hit, this sketch that you launched yourself into for your new single. Not in the beginning anyway. But who the hell knows what it's going to be, folks? You can't figure things out in your head. That's the point. Inside of your head is only part of the reality. The real reality is outside of your head. And so you must allow for the possibility for your ideas and thoughts to actually be born. Look, when a baby is born, it can't do anything by itself. It can't feed itself, it can't walk, it can't talk, it can't do anything, right? And it's the same with your ideas for projects. When you start, they're going to be imperfect. Allow for that to happen, okay? That's why you will have a chance to improve them, to iterate, to make revisions, to take small steps to improve your idea. But the entire point of this quote is that when you allow yourself to act sooner, even if it's going to be imperfect, but you take the first step, okay, then it's easier. It's going to be easier for you to even think about the project. Because now you will see this baby, okay, it can't talk. Well, let's teach it to talk. It can't walk. Okay, well, let's teach it to walk. Now that I've done my initial sketch before overthinking it, I just did it. Now I see what could be improved, right? And so notice what will happen the next time you get around to it. You will get into a habit of launching into action before you try to figure things out in your head completely. It's never possible, folks, to get anything perfectly done inside of your head. You have to bring the idea out into reality. But the second thing that's going to happen that's even more important is you're going to get into a habit of acting. And when you get into a habit of acting, you're going to start developing trust with yourself. You're going to start developing momentum. You're going to see a lot more things being born from inside of your head into the time and space, into reality, into your world. And then that will give you a lot more confidence to just do it, to just pull the trigger, to just write that email, to just start that project. Small steps, okay? So folks, this is a powerful quote, and that's why I'm excited about it. That's why I wanted to record this quick video. It is easier to act your way into thinking than think your way into acting. I hope that's been inspiring. I hope it's been helpful. I'm Tommy Z, and I'll see you in the next video.